Hi Capricorn, welcome to your February 2018 tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. It means the absolute world, and thank you for being a part of the Radiant Reality family. So as you can see, I'm doing things slightly different this year. I started with the 2018 predictions, which you guys are loving. Some people not loving, but you know what? It's all love and it's all growth, so that's great as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so before we start, I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what 2018 has in February 2018 has in store for you. So your first card out is your actions and your interactions in the world at large. Okay. So you've got the Six of Pentacles. So this month you're going to be looking for a way that you could. The Six of Pentacles represents charity. It represents, what I like to say about this card is it actually represents karmic debts being repaid. So for you guys this month, you're going to be revisiting things. You're going to actually be going to people that you have had interactions with in the past, and you're going to be settling old scores. I don't see this as being arguments. I don't see it as being anything negative, forgive the dualism, but I do see it kind of like you're tying up loose ends. For a lot of you, this is very much about the spirit of wrapping things up, of tying things up. Whether somebody owes you or whether you owe somebody, all karmic debts are now going to be repaid. The month of February very much brings old cycles to a close. You know, we are literally heading towards the end of Capricorn season now, which is interesting because there has been and is an ongoing stellium for you guys, which is kind of putting you in a place of real power, but it also puts you in a place of like everything coming full cycle. This is why I say this is because Saturn's just come into your sign. It's completed one entire revolution across the around the sun, and that puts you in a really strong place because it's your ruling planet. So the Six of Pentacles, like I said, it talks about charity, it talks about people giving to you, but it also talks about you giving to other people. If you, you know, for this month, you might find yourself wanting to get involved with charities, wanting to get involved with making things better for other people. And on a practical, personal level, the Six of Pentacles talks about you know, the way that I'm feeling this for you guys especially, is it talks about an old cycle genuinely coming to a close. And the way that that happens is basically by you accepting and offering some kind of closure on all kinds of things, and this can be from finances right through to emotions, you know, with everything. But your actions and your interactions are going to be charitable ones this month. That doesn't necessarily mean giving people money, although it could. Sometimes it could be giving of your time, giving of your emotions, or realising where you haven't been as giving as you could be. This is you giving of yourself in you know, in stellar fashion. Because the way that I feel it is kind of like you've got all of this brand new energy and you've got this new zest for life, and what better to do with that than to share it with the world? When we share what and who we are and what we have with the world, it tends to come back to us tenfold. So, very exciting. But yeah, in terms of the karmic debt stuff, I kind of see this as being a month where people say, actually, do you know what? It's like if you need an apology for something or you want closure on something, this will be the month that you get it. This will be the month that you see that. So your next card out is your money and your materials. You've got the Five of Wands. Okay, so this is a good card in that it means you have a lot of support from other people. The Five of Wands is a lot of people talking at once. It's a congregation of people getting together. Your home this month, Capricorn, is going to be very, very busy. There's going to be a lot of people coming to visit you. There's going to be a lot of people coming to talk to you. There's going to be a lot of people getting together. Why do I say that? Your money and your materials doesn't just mean your finances. It also means your home. It also means your physical body. It can also mean your car. And when I see this card, this is a lot of people talking talking at once. I see this as being positive, and I also see it as being very supportive. One of the things that I love about this spread is I don't just read the cards separately, I read them in conjunction with each other. So your money looks good in terms of people wanting to give you money, or people want to offer you support in some way, shape or form. This is the card of charity. This is the card of a lot of people, and you couple these two things together, it talks very much about support from a support network forming around you that wants to bless you, especially in terms of finances. It also means that talking to people and speculating on what is the best way for you to generate wealth or finance is a good idea. And it also tells me that there's going to be a lot of people in your vicinity. This is a lot of people coming to your home. This is sit-down dinners where there's loads of people and you're all talking over each other and passing food round, and it just feels like February is going to be a really good month to have people in your home. And the number 5, it's all to do with fun, creativity, it's all to do with joy, expression, sex, drugs, rock and roll, all of that stuff. It's very much that kind of energy, but it's also a very quick energy. And the number 5, especially if you live at a house with the numerology number 5, it talks about a lot of people coming into your space. It talks about your place being the one where a lot of people congregate. So yeah. Lots and lots of people in your space this month, lots of get-togethers, but they all centre around you, so you're going to be quite a focal point this month. Very exciting. Okay, so your communications and your interactions with people. Let's see what you've got. Ooh, okay, that one popped right out and it flipped itself over. So last year was not an easy year for Capricorns. In fact, the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years have not been easy for Capricorns, but 2016 and 2017 in particular were really difficult for you guys. And the 8 of Cups represents walking away from some kind of emotional disappointment. It means that this thing has already happened, it's something that's already taken place. And the communication sector means that this is you finally being okay with talking about it. One of the things with Capricorns is they don't really talk about how they feel, they don't really talk about, they kind of just take it on the chin and get on with it. But this is you being really okay now, really alright with just talking about how something made you feel, talking about how it, how something affected you, and saying, you know what, although I've moved past it and I'm going, elsewhere in my life, this is what I've experienced and this is what I felt and this is how I felt around it. But it's not necessarily a bad card, it's not a great card, but it does mean that whatever it is that you've experienced, you are communicating to people what it felt like to go through that experience, and you are also understanding that you have moved past it and you will continue to move past it. And really, let's be honest, this could be anything, because especially as underneath the 6 of Pentacles, which is charity work, this could be some form of counselling, this could be you talking to somebody about how you feel, in that respect, but it is genuinely or generally you talking about, especially in the communication sector, it's about you talking about exactly what and how you feel. Which is never a bad thing. Expressing and divulging what you feel and how you feel about things is never a bad thing. It's always good to get it off your chest. And then finally, you have your heart and your hearth. This is your emotions and how you feel, what you feel. It's your partnerships, it's your interactions with your family. The 6 of Swords. So, the 6 of Swords talks about moving away from trouble. It talks about getting past something. It's very similar to the 8 of Cups. The only difference is this is you actually embarking on a journey. This is you go somewhere to get past something. For some of you, for those of you that are coupled, this is when you will see a true evolution in terms of the difficulties that you faced. This will be the month where you finally start to see the optimism and you see, actually, do you know what? Yes, we had a rough patch, but actually I can see that that's all behind us now and we are genuinely moving forward together and for each other. So this is really great. For those of you that are coupled, this bodes really, really well, and it means that there's a lot of honest communication and a lot of mutual understanding and respect. For those of you that are single, you meet somebody on a journey. You meet somebody that is on the other side of the journey. It may well be that, I mean, I say on the other side of the journey, I kind of see this more as you meet this person while you're on the journey, but this will be a journey overseas. This isn't a short journey, this is somewhere at quite a big distance from where you are. Because the Six of Swords is travel, it's travel over water, which usually means, for most people, depending on where you are in the world, a journey overseas. So, really exciting. For those of you, for all of us, or rather all Capricorns in terms of your family sector, this talks about a turbulent period finally being over. It talks about you really being able to move past it. And this would have been a process of about 6 months. That's all coming to a close now. So, really, really great. So we've read them separately. What do the conjunctions say? This card, as I said, the charity or the karmic debts repaid, and the Five of Wands, which is lots of people. This is people wanting to support you. This is people wanting to, to give you money, to give you ideas of being able to create and sustain your own wealth. This is people giving you ideas of what banks to talk to if you want to start looking at getting a mortgage, etc., etc. Your money and your communications. This is about you accepting what your shortcomings may have been in the past in terms of money, but it's also you starting to understand just how much you truly value yourself. It's talking about how you can start to really the more you care about yourself. This is one of the reasons in astrology the second house is about your personal values. One of the things that you have to value for wealth to truly find you in your life is you have to value yourself. You have to believe that you are worth wealth, that you are worth prosperity. And this month, this is going to be people mirroring back to you where you don't feel you're good enough. And by understanding that, you will then start to think, actually, I am worth this, and I want more from life, and I'm going to get more from life. And you absolutely can do that. This is the month to really get clear on clearing out the clutter and clearing out the negative debris that is internal, so that you can start to generate and vibrate at a much more prosperous and happy level. Your emotions and your communications are basically mirroring each other. It's like you're talking about what's hurt you, you're talking about what has put you in a certain state of feeling, and you're able to truly let go of it. And then the Six of Swords talks about you really moving past it. It's like once you acknowledge it and you talk about it and you verbalise it, your emotions, your emotional energy and your emotional attachments, partnerships, family, friends, etc., it then sort of it mirrors that. It's like the internal shift is made by you really communicating it, and then it actually happens on a physical level. Your emotions and your actions are mirroring each other as well, because you've got 6 here and then you've got 6 here as well. The number 6 is all to do with your home, the home and hearth. It's all to do with the home as the power base. It talks about your deepest emotional attachments. It talks about your home being the centre of your being. It talks about your home being your personal power base. So a really good month, actually. Let's see what your key to the month is. Your key to the month is like your extra advice or your added bonus from the universe. I love these cards, by the way. Okay. And you get the Chariot. Oh, beautiful. Couldn't really ask for much more than that. The Chariot is the yes card. The Chariot is the success. The Chariot is the, after you've put the hard work in, after you've put the effort in, you then start to see the result. You then start to gain you get the victory for the work that you've put in, for the hard work that you've done, for the efforts that you've expanded, you put in. It's the balancing of 2 different types of energy. It's steering your life by direct force of will. And the best way to do that is to interact with the world, like to really be in it as opposed to just on it. Great set of cards, and it culminates really, really well for you. This can be a really transformative month, Capricorn. So I wish you an abundance of love, like peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Thank you so much for all of your continued support, your likes, your shares, your subscribes. For those of you that have donated, it means the absolute world. All of the links are in the description bar below. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you again very soon.